ready to recommence, make some grand announcements as to the judges and their final determination. Just take a few minutes to sit down, settle in, let that food settle in too. We're just missing one judge. Is Chris coming back? Oh, okay. One judge may be on the way to the airport. Okay. While we're waiting on Chris, we'd just like to make a housekeeping announcement in relation to the evaluation forms. Can I just invite my colleague Francola to come to the podium?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. In terms of the evaluation forms, I know many of you would have filled out for day 1 and day 2, which would have been sent to you via email, via constant contact. So I know some of you all may be looking for it on the website. Today, we have just evaluation form for day 3. So again, we ask that you fill out day 3. It's on the website. If you click on the evaluation button, you will see the form for day 3. The form for day 2 will be emailed to all participants. So please fill that one out now as well, because we have very low numbers in terms of what we have received thus far. So await that email, they will send it to you and fill out for day 2. But please, in an effort not to get a follow-up email, if you can fill out day 3 by the end of today, we would appreciate that as well. One of the reasons is that we want to prepare an evaluation report that will guide the upcoming meetings and really the outcomes of this event. So we really value your time in filling out the evaluation forms. So we do have a good amount for day 1. We will appreciate if you fill out day 2, which will be emailed to you via constant contact and your direct email, as well as please fill out day 3, which is already on the website. So we appreciate your cooperation there. Okay, thank you very much. And this has been wonderful being with you all for the past 3 days. Thank you. Okay, I will communicate with the office on that to make sure that everyone is on the mailing list for constant contact. But as well, as part of being a registrant here, we will then email you directly those evaluation forms as well. All right, so thank you very much.
And now the moment of final determination, I'm now going to hand over to the chair of our panel, but I would be very remiss if I did not thank our esteemed panel so very much for their time, for their very insightful comments, for their inputs. We really appreciate it, and I will now hand over to you, Rodney.
Thank you very much, Vashti. Hope you enjoyed your lunch. And I'm cognizant of the time, very short time frame in which we have to wrap up. And so I want to thank all of the presenters, all of the teams for the hard work that you put in. We know you're all very busy people. So in addition to staying with us throughout the entire workshop, the work that you put in yesterday and this morning, the collaboration that we saw, we hope that it will continue beyond this workshop. And again, our sincere appreciation for giving the assignment, the thought that you did and the work that you put into it. Having said that, there can only be one winner. And, you know, whatever the outcome, I know that some of you may be disappointed, but maybe you could get a drum roll. You all did well. And the winner for this box of chocolates is beautiful St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Very comprehensive, very comprehensive. They were all quite good, but St. Vincent, I think, was the most comprehensive in its outlook in terms of the gaps in the legislation, the legal frameworks, the focus on trade, emphasis on harmonization, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, who's presenting the prize, Vashti? Me? Okay. Well, can I invite Team St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Barbados is going to deport me.
No, but really and truly, everybody we had as a team, we recognized the amount of work, The amount of work.
The other judges, please join.
And the first to turn off that light.
Oh, the project.
Yeah, they were able to turn it off.
But the light is in right there. So
Okay, at an angle.
We can just remove it.
We can stand in front of this as we did earlier. We stand in front of it.
We want to be backwards. Just tear this up. You're right. Oh, okay. You ready? Yes.
And Trinidad will refuse me entry.
Sorry. Could you tell him to take his responsibility? At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Gary Kalu of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union to do his presentation in terms of the key workshop takeaways and next steps, very briefly.
Good afternoon, all. Vashti has given me 2 minutes. In the interest of time, I just want to say that moving forward, well, of course, we've seen really the key outputs of the event being coming to life in the presentations that were delivered today, and they were so very well put together. And congratulations again to St. Vincent and the Grenadines for and to all the teams for putting together such wonderful and informative and enriched, content-enriched presentation. They were very useful in us now looking at these. And I think the 4 teams are the presentations are really a reflection of what takes place throughout the region. So we can use those presentations and the outputs of those presentations to really gauge the entire region. So next steps really, the CTU will prepare a final report, a detailed report on this workshop, and of course we'll share it with all the participants. But really, moving forward, I think one of the things that we really have to consider is how we can harmonize all the legislation in a sort of and in a manner that it will do justice to every region. As I can't remember which somebody had said earlier that, you know, harmonization doesn't necessarily mean that they're identical. They should be interoperable. They should be, you know, compatible, and they should be coherent. I think that's the terms that somebody used. So that's our plan really, to prepare the report, probably by the end, maybe next 2 weeks or so, circulate it and get your input as to, also because we also like you to provide input as to how we proceed and move forward in the interest of regional harmonization. So Vashti, did I do justice in 2 minutes? Thank you. So thank you all and have a great evening, and the rest of your stay in Barbados.
At this time, I'd like to invite Mrs. Suresh Yadav, the Deputy Head of the Secretary General's Office of the Commonwealth Secretariat, to present closing remarks on behalf of the Secretariat. He's responsible for leading innovation in the Secretariat and also has been very closely looking at the great work that we've been doing. I'll hand over now to Mr. Yadav.
Thank you, Vashti. I hope you can hear me. Thank you very much. Vashti, you can hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay.
Yes, I can see you now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So Vashti, thank you very much. And I'm very much, delighted to be with the participant of this workshop, of course, virtually. And greetings from New Delhi, where I'm joining you almost in the midnight of this Delhi time. So first of all, the Commonwealth Secretariat is pleased to be part of this collaborative initiative. And we would like to convey special thanks to our partner organizations of the Caribbean Telecom Union and its member of staff for dedicated efforts and commitment to bring this workshop together. We also very much like to express our sincere gratitude to the government of Barbados for their support, as we were quite grateful to have opening remarks by the Honorable Attorney General and the Minister of Legal Affairs, Del Marshall Casey MP, as well as the participation of Ms. Kay Seeley, Director of Foreign Trade at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Foreign Trade, as well as Mr. Warwick Ward, the Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Financial Services Commission, on our panel discussions. In this regard, we also like to give the special thanks to the Honorable Minister of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology, David Ismail, for his unwavering assistance throughout the entire workshop, as well as Mr. Clifford Bostic and his technical team from the ministries. I'm informed that it has been a great contribution of the several experts, speakers from the several regions and international organizations who have provided invaluable support in relation to the best practice standards. And we also like to thank you, the participants, for your valuable inputs. Our special thanks to the United Nations Capital Development Fund, UN Commissions on the International Trade Law, the International Telecom Union, the International Chamber of Commerce, CARICOM Secretariat, CARICOM Impacts, CARICOM Competition Commissions, as well as the Trinidad and Tobago International Financial Center, Telecommunication Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, and the Intellectual Property Office of the Government of Trinidad and Tobago for their invaluable contribution. Most importantly, as I have been informed that this workshop has been very live and active, and I could see in the last session the announcement of the prize for this workshop, which shows the participations, very active participation, both in person and online. We have also been very fortunate to have attendance from across the Caribbean, as well as internationally, including the Honorable Grenville Williams, the Honorable Attorney General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And it is our hope that during the proceedings today and over the next 2 days, last 2 days, you have been able to benefit from the wealth of information imparted in relation to the foundational legislative building blocks that are critical elements in building and reinforcing the digital economy, as well as the intensive analysis exercise in which you have been able to identify what are the critical laws that needs to be addressed in order to create a resilient and sustainable digital Caribbean space. In this regard, I would also like to highlight that in recently held meetings of the Commonwealth Law Ministers meeting in Mauritius, the ministers decided to have a common legislative framework for the Commonwealth countries for the digital assets. I'm quite sure that the deliberations, the impact report, which is going to be prepared after this workshop, will help in particularly in devising a very important work in the area of harmonization of the legislative framework for the digital assets in the Commonwealth countries. The Commonwealth Secretariats look forward to providing continuous support to the Caribbean region as we explore further areas for building capacity in the digital trade. On this note, I'd like to thank all of you and look forward to working with you again. I would like to further inform you before I hand it over back to Vasti that we have launched a massive capacity building programs through the digital skilling for the youth. And we have already rolled out the digital skilling programs for the Caribbean regions, where we are providing 200 digital skilling slots to the young people of the Caribbean region for each country. Apart from that, we are also in the process of rolling out the artificial intelligence for the public officials, which will act as a building block and prepare the capacity in the member countries to adopt the digital ecosystems, which will be conducive for the development in the member countries. I'll conclude by thanking my colleague Vasti Mehraj, who has been leading the work of the Secretariat for this particular program in Caribbean regions, and all the Commonwealth Secretariat staffs who have come together, worked together, collaborated together to ensure that this program is a great success and brings values as well as the collaborative impact in the region. I'm sure that this initiative will continue to flourish and Caribbean region will get the benefit from the work of the Commonwealth Secretariat. Thank you, Vasti, and thank you all of you. Over to you, Vasti.
Thank you very, very much, Suresh, and I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. I know it's very late where you are, but we really appreciate that you are taking the lead on this and innovation. And everyone in this room heard Commonwealth Secretariat is now going to help everybody. So, on this note, we're just going to very briefly extend a few tokens of appreciation to the speakers who gave so freely of their time and their efforts and, have helped tremendously to make this event a tremendous success. So if I can just call you up to accept a very small token of our appreciation, we can start with Ms. Nivya Ramsundar, one of our judges, this Executive Director, CEO of the CARICOM Competition Commission. I'm seeing Nivya determining which bag she wants while she's walking towards the table. It's always good to know what you want in life. Also, Ms. Sophie Maddens, one of our judges, as well as our presenter from the International Telecommunications Union. Okay, big smiles. Mr. Chris Southwaite, also one of our judges and presenters from the International Chamber of Commerce. In fact, I think we got real bang for our buck with Chris. He was a judge, a panelist, and a presenter. Ms. Annie Baldo, Executive Officer, Policy, Planning and Economics of the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Anselm Charles, Information and Communications Technology Manager, CARICOM Impacts. You all actually made Anselm smile. What a feat. Ms. Cindy Parakill, International Policy Manager of BSI. And also a note of thanks to the CTU team, who has been an exceptional workshop partner for this event. I'd like to invite Mr. Rodney Taylor, Secretary General of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union. Mr. Gary Kalu, also of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union. Still also Mr. Gary Kalu of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union. And also our Chief Choreographer, Ms. Francola John of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union. Thank you, everyone, and I will now hand over to the Secretary General of the CTU for closing remarks.
Thank you, Vashti. It's been a wonderful 3 days. Glad we were able to stick around and come to the successful conclusion of the workshop. Of course, Vashti didn't give herself a prize, but of course, she has been working tirelessly now for quite a few months with us, meeting on a weekly basis to ensure that the workshop came off successfully. I think she did a really excellent job of facilitation, I can tell you. We were up at what, 6? We were on local TV this morning at, well, 5:30 to do the test, 5 o'clock. And to highlight what we're doing here on the morning show, and it's been shared on social media, just to show the level of interest that we've had. I'm very honored as well to have the Attorney General from Barbados and his counterpart from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which added some weight, I would say, to the seriousness of the discussions that we're having, and long may this collaboration continue. All of you for coming, taking the time to travel to be here with us away from your busy schedules. And now we've built a really solid database that we can call on. And I really urge you to continue to focus, to have that regional focus in all of the national initiatives that you do. I know sometimes it's expedient to just get ahead with the project implementation, but don't forget that we're all working within the same space, and the extent to which we can harmonize and ensure that there's interoperability and agreed upon standards, we will move a lot faster and attract much more investment. So the sum is, what's the quote? The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, or something like that. You know what I mean? So of course, our sponsors, Caribbean Development Bank, Financial Services Commission, Z-Money, and the Central Bank of Barbados missed You won't see Mrs. logo here because Miss stepped in at the very last minute to help us out to fill a shortfall, and I really appreciate your willingness, Mr. Bostic, on behalf of Miss, so please accept our sincere appreciation. And that's, of course, all of the persons who provided support, our AV company, AccuSounds, really good job this week, also facilitating the smooth transition over to the internet when it was falling apart. Our photographer, and the support for Miss Andre Strawn, who's been here as well with us, providing technical support to ensure that everything runs smoothly. I hope I didn't forget anyone. If I did, I'm sorry. And the food, yes, thank whoever cooked the food. The lovely beach and all of that. So, and of course, those presenters who joined us online who are not here with us, but for those who, actually had quite a few participants online. I'm not sure how many are on now, but let me express sincere appreciation to you as well for joining us online. We know that all of you couldn't be here. We didn't have the capacity to host everyone, but okay, there you are. Welcome and thank you for joining us virtually. I see a lot of familiar faces there, and I understand the chat has been very active in terms of the discussions as well. So on that note, Vashti, I think I hand back over to you. Or, okay, great, thank you.
And that brings us to the close of our proceedings. I would like to urge you all to enjoy the rest of your afternoon, enjoying Barbados, support the local Bajan economy, thank them for being such generous hosts, and I wish you a wonderful rest of the day and safe travels home. To all of you, thank you.